Hello, and why is it working now? God damn it. Hello and welcome everyone.
Technology!
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, now that we've actually been able to get my mic working, welcome back to the Dumbass class, everyone. As we carry on our tabletop RPG night with some more Warhammer Fantasy 2nd edition, Mordheim, City of the Damned. Now, in the last episode, our group of heroes had helped or encountered some ogres and some rat men, and had vanquished the rat men. Had watched a few bizarre things happen on the ogres' side. There was a pirouetting Skaven at one point, but the enemy were vanquished, and the ogres were so happy with their lunch that they completely forgot what they were on about, not surprisingly, and the group were able to cross the bridge with no problems. And then one of the more curious members of the group decided to check around where the Skaven had fallen off the roof.
I regret nothing!
And found something. A nice handgun with green jewels embedded along the barrel, and with intricate yet bizarre runic scribing across.
They were pretty and shiny, okay?
It was. And it is a best quality pistol, which you snuck away into your belongings. Before the rest of the group gathered on the other side, collected themselves, and looked up at the rock. Its imposing walls guarding the inner fortress. However, the gate is open. The massive bars that would block the passage don't even appear to have been put down. As you look, the great walls and towers that rise above the surrounding dwellings, it almost looks in good condition, except from the burn marks, the brickwork that has been either fallen from age or perhaps an errant spell. Maybe the ogres were having some target practice. It's unclear, but it gives you a dark feeling when you look upon it, as it's empty and dormant as far as you can tell. There are no fires in the great halls. There is no smoke arising from the chimneys. It is a cold and dark fortress, but it is yours to explore if you choose to. So, what would everyone like to do? As you're stood in the road, the ogres you can hear behind you are talking about if they should skin it, or if they should boil it, or if they should pickle it. One of them asks about what's pickling. And there's another debate. Miss Wilhelma, you did notice last time that there are boats along the wharf and in the river. Most of them are not in seaworthy condition, but from where you are on the other side, you can look down the river, and you can see through the great, the great walls that would have spanned the river once, now crumbling and in ruin, but you can see right down as far as the river goes until the bend takes it towards the Black Pit settlement.
Oh. secure the surrounding area, and at least the harbor, we could make our way through the river quickly back towards the pit.
What about the river currents?
Well,
Somehow, I'm pretty sure I would not want to fall into that river.
my question is: the river going up or down?
It's going
As
down. So it'd be
Going-
going towards the Black Pit settlement. But if you were to come back up, you would be going against the river. And as you're in spring, the river is at a fuller level than normal, for the ice and snow is melting off the peaks of the Dwarven Mountains.
well, we can take a boat from here towards back to the Black Pit, but we can't return. If we're careful, that is, and we have a proper ship boat.
Roll intelligence for me. All of you can roll intelligence, I should imagine. It's not...
Any common knowledge?
You could use your... anything to do with ogres, basically. I mean...
Empire?
Yeah, Empire would work, because they use ogres.
Wah, wah.
So with your... Because you've actually... so Azurith and Lysiara, you both look over at the ogres and look back down the river. Look back at the ogres, look back to the river. I believe there's 3 ogres left. Only one of them died. They could pull a rope, and they could easily pull against the tide if they were so inclined to do so.
I was gonna look at the ogres. Then look at the Zurith and Wilhelm. Back at the ogres. Back at the 2. Back at the ogres. Back at the 2. And she's going to say, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?"
What are you thinking?
To let the ogres sprawl about.
Yeah, we need some good rope or chain, but we could make an easy trip down the river, and so long as the ogres are happy with us, they can pull us back up. That could make our trip far safer and could make sort of
Safer
and
without water.
Well, would you rather face the ever shifting streets of the city?
Yeah, look, fair we have some time now. What the hell were those beastmen? Never seen anything like that.
How far away are Bill and Dad?
They're quite close. They're within... you get the ruler out. They're kind of within 20 feet, 30 feet. Are we meant to be in feet?
I lean in and I said,
They're in listening distance. Let's put it that way.
They're in earshot. Lysiara is going to lower her voice. And she's just going
I'm
to
just
say,
gonna lean into her, next to her ear and whisper like, "Those were scary."
precisely. Zurith?
Very funny. Everybody knows that Skaven are a myth. The boogeyman that keeps little children away from the streets at night.
My dear Wilhelma, look around you. Did those look like regular beastmen to you?
I mean, you can't exactly. Well, no beastmen are alike, truly.
Wilhelma, I've had access to a few books now, especially now that we're in the Black Pit, that depict those as Skaven. They match the pictures exactly and the descriptions exactly. And although, like you said, Skaven are a story to scare little children,
I mean, not just little children, but that's beside the point.
but here's the thing. Maybe you don't believe in horror stories, but we're in one.
Yeah, I was gonna say our life hasn't exactly been. Yeah.
Don't spread this around the world
Right.
of Skaven may cause. Well, if people actually start believing that these are actual Skaven, the camp may go into a panic. So
Right.
be careful.
So, do you think Hagrid and his merry band know? I mean, Hagrid supposedly already was here some years ago.
We can, well, we can probably trust Hagrid with this information, but this should not be the type of information we disclose to just about everyone. Especially since how Skaven operate.
Care to elaborate on the subject?
Do you want to have a good night's sleep, or do you want to be
In
shackled to
case,
nightmares?
look, in case you hadn't noticed, we weren't exactly sleeping well to begin with.
Well, Norma, if you insist, Skaven can come from pretty much anywhere. They are good diggers, and pretty much nowhere is safe, so they could dig straight through the ground on our camp and come in droves of not a few, but hundreds of them at a time. So whenever you go to sleep, just, check for scratches and, make sure there are no real noises near you. Otherwise, we may all die to a horde of Skaven. That's the information I would like to know.
Can we just go back to vampires, please?
There are probably vampires here too.
Because, of course, they are.
This area is just going to smile. And actually, can I roll one thing just to scare her even more? Just to see if I remember this. I
Sure.
want to roll academic knowledge, demonology, to basically remember the chaos spawn too.
Sure.
Oh yeah, and let's not forget the forces of chaos and peace that could be the size of, that house.
Should never have left Secret Path. I should
Oh,
really never have left Secret Path.
I think I have better advice for you. If you don't know what you're getting into, don't make the promise next time.
Excuse me, you were there as well, as drunk as I was.
Yes, but I still knew what the shit I was getting into. It's fucking Mordheim.
well, anyway. If there was no danger, there would be no fun. And, well, the artifacts we might recover wouldn't be as valuable. So, let's just keep moving ahead and make sure the rock is safe enough for us to make a forward operating base, shall we? Oh, and Mohammed, try not to speak of this to too many people. We don't need panic in the camp.
Right. Don't worry. I won't. I'm curious, not stupid.
So
Even though the two usually go hand in hand.
this guy's just gonna give her a big smile and go like, good. Can I look and see if Bill and Ted were paying attention to our conversation?
Sure. You look around and Bill and Ted, they've gone rather quiet. Their heads are constantly looking down alleyways and looking through windows, and it appears as if that, not ambush, but the sudden appearance of danger has got them a little bit rattled. Because before the Skaven appeared, it was fairly calm. The enemy was in front at a distance, and then they were right next to them. So they're not paying attention to what you guys are talking about at the minute.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. Shall we move? Can I tell Kurasu to just give a one look over the rock just to make sure there are no beings lurking?
Sure, you can do that. So you send Korosu out, and he begins to do a spiral. So he'll go round the outside and start to go up, giving you a full vision all the way round. The rock looks bleak, dark. You don't see any lights or any movement through Korosu's eyes. Many of the windows are broken. You can see some holes actually in the as Korosu flies round to the. If we use the picture in front of us, the face that we're looking at is the south side. So as he goes round to the west side, you can see that there are actually holes in the walls that appear to go into rooms. Like Korosu, maybe you give Korosu a little, have a another flyby, and he drifts back, and you can see into the room. It's damaged by weather and the elements, but you don't see anything alive in there.
Kurasu doesn't see anything alive at the moment. But I cannot attest for what's inside. We should move with caution.
So your group cautiously approaches the rock. You come up to the great walls and look at their unmanned defences. You can see archery slots, and I'm going to get some of the words wrong. I hope you'll forgive me. I've tried to quickly Google castle parts to get it right, but I probably won't. Certain ramparts come out of the walls to give archers a overview look of the entranceway as you come in. Again, the masonry has begun to crumble away in certain areas and fall. There are parts of the entranceway that have piles of rubble, but not like the blockage that you came across before. You make your way in, and as you come to where the iron gates would normally bar your path, you look up and you can see they are still embedded deep within the walls. You have no idea how long they've stayed there, but you make your way in. The walls are thick, and there are guardhouses next to the entranceways. If you carefully push open the doors, you'll see that they are not locked, and there is nothing but detritus and rubble in the closest guardhouses to the main gate. It appears as if it's been pillaged long ago. But there's nothing alive in there either, and you make your way further in. The daylight shining at the end of the walls. You walk through and you are met by a training ground. Several training dummies lie rotten, some fallen into bits, some barely holding on. There is an archery range and several stables for horses.
Are the matriculations okay?
Are the
The matriculations. The overhanging part of the ramparts.
yes, they were crumbling. Parts of the defensive wall had fallen, but there was no one up there.
Okay.
From where you are in the training, now that you're in the training ground, the open courtyard, you can see that there are several doors that appear to lead up into the main gate where the archers would stand and fire down. You can see there is a large doorway in front of you, in front of the courtyard. It is ornate and the doors are sealed. From where you are, you can make out the signs of hacking into the door. Its fine carved surface destroyed from human height. There's nothing monstrous that's been attacking it. The engraving at the top half of the door is still as it once was, immaculate and fine, almost glorious. The stonework you can almost see here, where it's been protected by the walls, still holds some resemblance of its former glory. There are several areas that you can explore around here, the stables and the other doorways leading up into the gatehouse. Would you like to roll perception?
Yay, perception, something I'm actually fairly competent at. He says as he fails yet another roll.
So as you look around, taking in the sights, looking for hidden dangers, Azurath, you would notice that as you walk into the courtyard and you begin to look round, several of the stables, the wood is completely rotten. You can almost see the woodworm holes, and you're at a decent distance, but you do have elven eyes. You imagine it'd be quite dangerous to explore in that area. Nisiara, you notice the stables as well, but seeing that Azurath is closely scrutinising them, you don't mention it and move on and begin to look up. The doors that would lead up into the archery, into the gatehouse, have been knocked through. You can see as they kind of swing on their hinges slightly, the signs of battle, the signs of hacking and slashing at the door, and where the lock would have once been is completely smashed through. Wilhelma, you don't see any of this. You are focused on the finery, the splendid oak door that has just been left to...
Let's be honest, I'm on the lookout for more things to nick.
And, itching. So you have some options. You can check the stables. It may be dangerous. You could check the gatehouse, although it looks as if something has gone in there at one point. Or you can look at the main building and see if you can get through those doors somehow.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, okay, I can hear you now. For whatever reason, my internet had a hiccup.
Ah. Did you hear what I said, or do you want me to go over it again?
Something door.
Yeah, you can. So you can explore the stables. Azurav has seen that it's rotten. You can explore the archery house. Sorry, the gatehouse. Lysiara has seen that the door has been bashed through. Or you can go into the main building, which you'd have to get through the main door.
Lysiara's gonna take a deep breath, feel herself in. She's gonna magically sense the aura, even though this is probably a bad idea. Do I take any minuses?
You get a +10.
Oh.
As you reach out with your magical sense, you sense the winds are very strong in this location, almost gathering in a way. For one, you would get the feeling that your spells would have more of an effect in this area, but may have other consequences. You're used to the flashes of magic now that litter the surrounding area. Some small, some large, some that could be other spell casters, some that may not. But as you sense around in this area, it is magically active in that the winds are gathering here for a strange reason. You're not quite sure why at this moment in time. But you don't see anything magical on the doors, and you don't see anything magical reacting anywhere around you. But you still feel in the distance magical things are happening far out in the city.
Sarah's gonna stop for a little bit and put her hand to her forehead, as if she just, too much information. She just, as if she's getting a small headache. She's just like, oh, this place is certainly flooded with powerful magic, but I cannot sense anything, well, dubious or dangerous.
No ghosts.
None that I can see. And again, Muhammad, ghosts should be the least of your concern.
Somehow I feel they're one of the most I can deal with.
I was just gonna smile and say, oh, don't count on it. Well, now, shall we explore, or should we just mark this position and come back later with more people?
We're gonna have to pay the ogres again.
Well, seeing as how the ogres now know us, they might be open to actually working for us. We just have to maintain a good relationship with them.
Assuming they even remember us.
They will remember us if we give them food. And besides, if we can convince them to, well, become our helpers in going up and down the river, we could make them very happy and keep them well fed. This year is going to move closer to the door, the busted open one, and she's gonna peek inside.
Sure. So you move over to the gatehouse door. It's on its hinges. The lock itself has been cut away. It's in a pile on the floor. The door does swing, so you can just place your hand on it gently. The hinge does creak, but not for long. You look up and there is a very narrow stone staircase that leads up. It's very vertical. It's not a easy stone staircase to maneuver up, but you don't see anything straight away. You can give me a perception test if you'd like.
I will do that because I can already feel beady little red eyes in the darkness looking at me.
So as you look up the stone staircase, you begin to look around at the walls and you see the signs of battle. There are the signs of metal that has cut into the stone. And as you kind of picture it in your head, yeah, if a sword had slashed down and clipped the wall, that's what that would look like. But then you see slashes along the wall that come up. 3 of them. No, hang on. Sorry, 2 of them. 2 slashes that are unison. They come up and scrape against the wall at a unison distance between each blade. You're not sure what weapon would have made something like a mark like that, but you can tell that whatever creature it was low down. The scrapes start much lower. Could have been a dwarf or maybe a skaven, a small beast man.
Could be a halfling.
Could
Maybe.
Could be. And as you look up the wall, you can see that there are more scrape marks, more... Is that a bullet hole? As you kind of step into the staircase and look at the back wall. And you can see chips and marks where perhaps arrows, and you can see a hole. Perhaps that was a shot. You're not exactly sure, but there was definitely combat running up the stairs. But you don't see any weapons. No corpses, no bones, nothing. You also don't hear anything.
Great. You don't see anything and you don't hear anything. Oh boy.
But there's no chittering in the darkness.
Well, at least that. But still. All is too quiet. I'm gonna motion for Wilhelm and Azurus to come over. And I'm gonna point to a few of the slashes and these chips away that I find interesting. And then we say, so, should we explore down here a little bit, or should we see what's up there? Is it with? Wilhelma?
I think we should leave.
So, should we leave and come back later, or?
Probably, yeah. In my humble opinion.
Very well.
Well,
Hmm.
what do you think?
Mm, wouldn't want to spend a night in here. So we
Alright.
get back.
Oh. You guys want to try out going down through the river, or should we just follow back the same way we came? Same way we came it is then.
Okay, so you mark down what's what in this place. I have added on a tiny little drawing. It's kind of pathetic, but it gives you an idea of what you just saw. So right at the south of the map, you'll see a tiny pathetic little drawing, and I'll see if I can do something better for when you next come here.
That's not a pathetic drawing. That's Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah. You mark down on your map what's here, what you've seen, and what to take note of. And you leave. You turn around and no. You make your way back. Further down the road as you leave the rock, you get a shiver down your spines. Collectively, you all kind of shiver at once. Even Bill and Ted, and they look at each other like, what? But nothing negative seems to occur. You can see the ogres from your position. They are continuing to eat their delicious lunch. It smells horrible. It really stinks. The smell of... It appears they've decided to cook their meal. Sorry, you're going to have to watch a few maps go by as I take you back.
Well, at least they're not eating it raw.
No, but the smell of burnt hair is just... Oh, it's overpowering. And the wind does seem to be blowing down in your direction, which makes it even worse. But you see them, they are there, eating their meal. It is up to you if you are going to attempt to talk to them, or if you want to just try and bypass them.
I feel like we shouldn't interrupt feasting ogres.
So whoever would take an interest in the ogres, roll me a perception. If you're just like, nah, ogres eating, don't really want to go looking at that shit, then by all means, you don't have to.
I'm gonna look.
Whatever. Maybe they left some bits of loot that I could maybe nick. Seriously, what the hell?
Lysiara and... oh no, sorry, just Lysiara. You can see on the ground next to the ogres, around here, there's a blade type device. It appears to have two... You're not sure how you would hold it. You're kind of looking at it and trying to... Essentially the shape in the wall. You think that a device similar to this would have made that, for sure. for out of character. These are Skaven.
The blades that Gutterrunners use?
Yes. I think they're called punch daggers in this. In Mordheim, they were called
Weeping blades?
fighting claws. Oh, they might still be called fighting claws in this. I can't remember. But yeah, they're like Wolverine's claws, only with 2 blades.
Because I know that punching daggers are entirely different from what little I know about bladed weapons.
Yeah, they would be fighting claws in the old tabletop version. So Wolverine's claws minus the middle one. You would also notice that the captain is sat down and the other ogres are kind of sat in the middle. And there is a fire going on in the centre. The parrot thing appears to be holding a knife in its hand and is currently skinning one of the creatures that you saw the ogres kill. The ogres don't seem to pay this any mind, but you kind of stare. Like, and then it takes what it's skinned really roughly, like there's still fur on it, and it sticks it onto a big metal spike. And then there's a row of meat, and one of the ogres picks up the spit, places it on the fire, and the little parrot thing goes up onto a crate and begins turning the spit.
You're in Mordheim. You're in Mordheim. You're in Mordheim. Shit is weird.
That creature is so weird. What even is that?
I've got half a hunch it's a Gretchen.
I don't know, maybe, but such a weird creature.
Does it look like Gretchen?
In a costume.
It actually looks like a parrot that has arms, and it's got a very good costume. However, you see it, like one of the ogres grabs something, you're not sure what it is, and begins shaking it all over the meat. You see the fire crackle for some weird reason. Wilhelma, you can roll me intelligence. The creature that's turning to spit sneezes, and you see these massive ears pop out from its disguise, and it quickly...
I passed the check!
It starts tucking its ears back into its head wrap. Wilhelma, gunpowder crackles like that when you sprinkle it over a fire.
I'm sorry. Did the ogre just...
They are spicing the meat with gunpowder.
Yes.
Huh.
Ogres are all.
I never thought of it. No, you will not try to season meat with gunpowder, Wilhelma. You know how this works.
That can't be good for your health.
Yeah, no, I figure.
Well then, I guess we just keep moving on, and do you guys want to talk to them? Sarah's just perplexed by this scene. She's just like, what even is this? Also, can I also want to inspect the clothing again.
Sure. The ogres are paying it no mind. You could pick it up if you wanted.
I'm not gonna touch it. I'm actually going to use move. Where's move? Oh boy, where is move? Move.
No, you move.
I'm gonna cast a spell to inspect it without touching it. Because if this has any glowing bit,
Sure. Ah, you only roll one dice. Sad. So sure, you pick up the device and raise it up to eye height, and you begin to turn it. It is a crude piece of metal. It is rusting in multiple areas. Although it still has a sharpened edge, it's a crudely sharpened edge. There is leather that holds the metal blades together in a kind of hand gauntlet style. Although, when you look at how the metal would be placed on the hand, it looks rough and sharp and uncomfortable to wield. This is an abomination of craftsmanship, but you don't see anything glowing on it.
I'm gonna do something else just to make sure before I touch this. I'm gonna magically sense this, and I'm gonna be focused on this. Hopefully, nothing else will jump at my head.
Sure. As you focus onto the fighting claws in front of you, blocking out or trying to block out the exterior shit that goes on, you successfully do so. You don't see anything magical on the claws. However, there is something magical. It's on Wilhelma.
Yes.
You have something magical on you. Lysiara is close enough with her magical.
Ah.
She would see
So
it.
it is.
Lister is gonna cock the head to this side, like, wait, what? And she's looking at the weapon, and she's gonna slowly turn her head, still kind of cock and look at Wilhelma.
So the magical thing that you see, with your magical vision, you see something on Wilhelma. There appeared to be 3 or maybe 6 magical items. You're not quite sure the way that they're placed. Perhaps it's one magical item, but there's a distinctive greenish pulse that comes off. It's not like you've seen before, jagged and violent. It's more of waves that pulsate, much more like you'd expect from a normal magical item. The magic slowly being released from the item itself. But it is still of a greenish green tint.
This area is gonna drop the blade as if she had suddenly lost all interest in it. And she's gonna look at Muhammad and say, Muhammad, you wouldn't happen to have picked anything green or with green gems up, did you?
No? Why would I? Why
Wilhelma,
would I? And this sheet, of course, doesn't have a deceiver roll.
I think it does actually, doesn't it?
I think it's an actual advanced skill. I don't think lions are basic.
No, deceive is not. There is no deceive in here.
Maybe it's just charm? Sleight of hand would be for you to hide something.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to physically hide it. I'm trying to bullshit. I'm gonna say it's charm.
I think Blaver is partly the bullshit.
Blubber
You're
is not
just
bluffing though. Blubber is just running your
talking,
mouth
yeah.
until the other guy loses interest.
Yeah, it's odd that there isn't actually just a lie and deceive. Sure, you can go with a charm to try and charm your way. It's pointless because she can literally see the magic.
Yeah, but I don't know. She
True.
can see.
True. Wilhelma's been very charming, but you're like looking at the robe where it is, like,
Sarah's gonna go like, Wilhelma, you do realize I can tell when you lie, right? You have this certain twitch.
Why would I
Sarah,
be, Luciana, why would I be lying?
Wilhelma, I can see something green glowing out of your person.
I'm just gonna like look it down myself like there ain't no green. Luciana, are you okay?
Wilhelma, do you remember the tower when everybody suddenly freaked out?
Fairly, yeah. Why?
It's not as raw and malicious per se, but you're still holding something pretty much like that. Do I have to remind you of the dangers of
Like,
making?
like it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Well, you should. I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life or how to get mutated and die horribly, but you should get rid of it.
Ciara, relax. Everything is fine. I'm not growing a third arm or anything.
Well, you might be. You just don't see it yet.
I'm pretty sure I would feel an extra arm trying to grow.
It might take a long while, but it just might, considering you touched fucking Warpstone.
I didn't touch no stone. Like I didn't touch stone. It's fine.
Empty your purse.
I'm sorry?
Empty your damn purse, you heard me.
No, I won't.
Well, how much do you trust the magically inclined, well, member of this group?
I mean, you haven't done wrong by me so far, so I have no reason not to.
So trust me when I say this now. Take whatever it is you got. You don't even have to show us. But throw it away. Throw it in the river for all I care. Or maybe throw it in the fire. But do not keep that.
I don't know why such a big deal. No, wait. I know where you're making such a fuss out of it. You're jealous because I got the loot and you didn't.
No, we're not at all jealous. I'm more worried the fact that you might actually be turning against us. If that's the case, I'll gladly chop your head off right now.
Why would I be turning against you?
Because you're touching pure fucking chaos.
I'm not, okay?
Luciana just told you it's in your
Look.
fucking purse.
If you want to take my loot, just say it, alright? Just
I don't want it. I just want you to throw it away if you've got any.
why?
Because this stuff's dangerous.
So is the sword because you can cut yourself. I don't see you throwing away swords.
Sarah's gonna raise a hand as her look at Wilhelm and say, Wilhelm, if you really want to keep that, do be aware that at the first sign of mutation, I will have to take drastic measures to rid you of it, and I'm pretty sure you won't want that. And more than that, I'm pretty sure you don't want to become like one of those. And she's going to put a point at the dead Skaven, just to scare her up a little bit.
Nah, like That's not how Skaven are made, are they? Like, nah.
Can I roll willpower to look dead serious? Or should I roll?
I just whispered to her. Oh, that's specifically what happens when you're near rats when you touch this stuff.
Luciara looks dead serious. She has a complete stone-faced poker face.
Is there any role I could do to see through the deception?
You would use perception. Yes.
Perception fellowship?
There's no
Just
moving
perception,
them. Yeah. So perception's used to look through lies and deceits. So she does look. She does look dead serious. There's no getting around that because she is. However, there is also still your, what you want. So although you concede that your comrade is being serious, it's still up to you. At the end of the day.
Look, this is fine. I am fine. I'm not doing weird or anything.
I'm going to slowly draw my axe.
Luciara is going to sigh, look at Wilhelm, and just shake her head disapprovingly, and go, "Oh, Wilhelm, you disappoint me, but when you see what will become of you because of your choice, don't say I didn't warn you."
Have I drawn my axe without them noticing?
It would depend on where you're positioned. If they didn't notice, obviously, if you're in.
I'm standing behind Wilhelma. I don't care if Lysiara sees, but I very much don't want Wilhelma to see.
Then yes, Wilhelma doesn't see, but Lysiara does, as they're
But
having their discussion.
Do I know that he's behind me, or am I just completely unaware of that?
You would know that he's behind you because you've been talking to him. He's been saying that he wants you to
Plus,
hand
he's
over.
got heavy armor. He's not exactly the quietest lot.
Yes, you wouldn't be caught unaware, but I would probably favour him in that he would get an action.
Yeah.
Just because you're currently talking with Lysiara, as Azurath has... You know he's there, but he might get a +10 to an action.
Is her purse hanging from her belt?
Well, it's not in her purse, for a start.
It's in my jacket.
She squirreled it away
It's
onto
wrapped
herself.
in cloth, but it's in my jacket.
Yeah, I didn't say purse, I said in her person. So
No person, okay.
I'm gonna look past Wilhelma and at Azurath, and I'm just gonna shake my head like no, very slightly, and I'm just gonna go back to my way.
I've got a full face helmet on, so you can't actually see my face, but I would otherwise make the.
I'm mostly doing that because if I see your action, I'm just gonna like.
Yeah, I kind of want to raise my eyebrow at that because Azura's ID currently is okay. Knock her out. Whatever she's got on a person, throw it in the river. But
I mean, Luciara's thought process is.
He's going to basically no longer stand and like, okay, I'm gonna strike her, but he will keep his axe drawn.
Oh,
Like, this is getting ridiculous, and quite frankly, we are wasting time. Can we get back to the camp now?
Well, not with what you've got on your person. I'm not letting you back in.
Ah, those teeth.
So, for a start, you guys can... You would know that since the battle, and you guys entering the rock, you've been together, so you know that Wilhelma has picked this item up during, after the combat happened, and she's been walking with you and acting normally. There is nothing in her body language or her behaviour that would tell you that there's anything up.
Except for the fact that she's unwilling to give it up.
No, but
Yeah, but that's really just my Marienberger greed.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
you're pretty used to by now, or you should be at the very least.
Yeah, but he's never asked you before to give something up, and to observe this very much now seems irrational, as if you've been entranced by it.
I mean, you're not wrong per se. You don't know that.
Zurif is very serious about anything chaos related, and he will not let you back into the camp as long as you have that on you.
Oh, boo-hoo, make me.
I will chop your fucking head off if I have to.
You know, maybe we should be more concerned about what's going on with you.
What do you mean?
Well, our first excursion to Mordheim, second. And you're suddenly acting very bloodthirsty. Are you feeling okay?
I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to hide your own damn corruption.
What corruption?
Lysiar was speaking of Theron to Azereth, and she'll just say without looking at Wilhelma, I'm pretty sure she's not corrupted yet, Azereth, and besides, I don't believe escalating the situation now would be beneficial. She'll probably not learn if we do it this way.
I'm just gonna look.
I am going to speak back in the Elf Town and say, fine, we can get it at Mordheim first. But if she is unwilling to let that out, I will kill her in front of our gates if I have to.
I'm
I
just
will
gonna
not allow
say.
corruption to seep into our fortress.
I'm just gonna say, goddamn elves, but in Dwarvish. Something Elgi, because that's how much out of character I know of Elven.
Sure,
Dwarven.
You hear Wilhelma start speaking Dwarvish.
Specifically, I think I understand those words.
I'm pretty sure you understand Elgi.
At that, my helmet just snaps towards her. Would you care to repeat that?
I will repeat that.
I'm just going to call it Bill, Ted, stay away from her. If she tries to enter camp, when we get back, stop her. If she refuses, call me and I'll stop her.
They look at each other and then look at the group and then look at the ogres. The ogres are looking at you, and the parrot thing as well is just like,
I give Bill and Ted a very stern look.
But if you don't mind, we're gonna stay out of this. Yeah, this is upper management thing.
You probably should.
Then at least I'll give you an advice: stay away from her.
Righto.
And I'm just gonna walk away from Wilhelma and order Bill and Ted to follow me, and we're gonna just go.
Sure. So Lysiar and Wilhelma, you would see Azurif take the lead, and Bill and Ted they join Azurif, but they're kind of keeping a distance as if like they're for every 2 steps he's taking, they're taking 1, kind of looking back like, do we really want to split up?
I call around and say, Luciana, you coming or not?
Azureth, I'm not gonna rush through Mordheim just because.
No, we're leaving. We're
Just be-
leaving Mordheim.
We are, but I'm not gonna rush through the city. Just
Hey, if he wants to trip over Skaven, then it's his wish.
Sarah's just gonna shake her head like, oh god. Ah, you shall give me strength.
Actually, if we're passing the ogres, I turn to one of the ogres and say, you not actually interested in gold or just in food?
The ogre that's kind of looking in your direction just gives you a stupefied look as he sucks a Skaven tail into his mouth. Whereas the captain hears this and is, either does payment do, shiny or food.
You can buy food with shiny.
They don't know
What
that.
if I ask you to do something and I give you shiny for it?
They look at each other. The captain kind of, what?
My head turns towards Wilhelma.
Do not even think about it, pointy ears.
He scratches his head and,
He's joking, Captain. Obviously, what we mean is maybe you could, well.
Could you maybe hold her for a bit?
He's joking, Captain.
Whatever he pays, I can pay double.
Are you sure about that?
Pretty damn sure.
you, how much? What shiny and what you want? He gets up and he kind of looks at you both and Pepe. The parrot thing just looks at him and like raises its arms and shakes its head. What are you trying to pay him with?
Lysiar is going to speak in Eltharian to Azureth. And she's going to say in a harsh and loud voice, Azureth, you're a member of the proud race of the Elven.
And then I will speak.
Do not behave like a children or a kid by hiring ogres to hold her, because if they do that, she might not get out unscathed. There are better ways. There are other ways.
I will speak very much. Yes, we are elves, and it is our duty as elves to stem chaotic corruption wherever it may flow. If she holds something with the taint of chaos on it, then it must be gone. I do not care if that is with damage to her or not. This is bigger than merely a person.
Like this,
you would know that elves don't go around destroying Warpstone. There's nowhere in the law that says elves destroy Warpstone. Chaos, yes, by all means, but Warpstone is a naturally occurring thing in the Warhammer world. Yes, the moon does have, there is a moon that's full of it, but it does occur naturally.
I mean, I would like to remind you that that moon is dedicated to Mor.
True. This is also kind of true. So, whilst yes, you are right, chaotic corruption, you would hunt it out. As far as I'm aware, you...
Yeah, but so far, I have not been told what exactly it is that she has. And the Ciara's made it sound as if it's a chaotic item.
No. I made it sound as it is a bad item, but I did tell you there is no corruption currently in herself. She
In that
may
case,
just be greedy.
I'm just going to try to prevent her corruption by taking it from her forcefully.
Of course you will.
So, we... how can this be? So, here's the thing. Unless the item is shown, and I understand why Wilhelma doesn't want to show it, you can't get a look of it and go, hang on, it's a gun with jewels in it. Huh? So it's one of those... It's a difficult one for you to try and get to an impasse at.
Yeah, I know.
If she shows it, and I can simply say, okay, cut the gems out,
But
you can keep it.
like so far, you haven't given me any reason to.
Yeah, like demanding people, like I would never demand my friend hand over his drugs if I knew he had drugs on him. It's not
I would
something.
stop being friends with them if they know they have drugs.
It's not something I would, or like demanding porn off someone. It doesn't set a good precedent, if you get where I'm coming from. It's one of those where you're like,
back to the example, like if I knew.
You're overthinking it. You're overthinking this so hard.
I'm just trying to figure out how two characters could.
And none of us is really trying to resolve this, which is great.
My character is trying to resolve it by removing what he believes is going to corrupt you.
The ogre basically says, what are you going to pay him with? If you hold out gold, they don't care. They don't care about gold. Their shiny is like his anchor, his weapons, his belly plate. So with food, you could maybe have enough with all of your food, but with one or two people, that wouldn't be enough.
I take out the sword that I have in.
Really sorry, guys. Really sorry, guys. My nan has actually fallen over, so I have to stop the episode now. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
See you later.